Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers best bet or daily package for only $2.
Hey guys, welcome in, and a very happy end of February to you now. The 28th of February, 2023, and a new month just around the corner, which means we're that much closer to the NBA playoffs, but we got a lot to be decided before then, and a loaded 10-game slate here tonight. We're going to try to make heads or tails of this for you, and we're going to do it with three of the finest gentlemen you will meet over at WagerTalk.com. As Skee Province in the house, number one chair here, guys, riding along with Tony Finn, and of course, Double R 1L Steve Merrill hanging out with us here on this Tuesday, guys. And boy, oh boy, huge slate of games here. We've got, of course, college hoops as well. Getting ready for March Madness. A lot going on across the hardwood here, Skee. And I got to imagine on a slate like this, you're going to have a few games up, locked, loaded, ready to go at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, I've been locked and loaded on about 5 plays since very early this morning. And I am going to have more throughout the day. I'm looking at a few player props and also a couple more totals and, 2 more sides. So I'll add them throughout the day as we go along. I have had a profitable day the past 3, so I'll try to make it 4 in a row today with you guys.
Nothing wrong with that here, guys. Shooters are going to shoot here. Skee's play is up and available over at WagerTalk.com's, as is Tony Finn. And no, Finn, that whether it's we got a huge college slate here tonight as well as the association. What'd you get locked and loaded for us here?
I have a little bit of everything tonight, both college and NBA. I have a late big ticket in the NBA tonight, although it's $2 Tuesday. So everybody, make sure you grab that $2 Tuesday. Don't worry about my 5% big ticket in the NBA. And I have a free top player prop up, and we'll talk about that during the show.
All right, boom. Got a little something for everyone over there. And Steve Merrill, no doubt, Merrill, a loaded card here tonight on the hardwood. Are you locked, loaded, college hoops, NBA? What do you got for us here tonight?
Yes and yes. It's a 3-for-1 special. College and pro hoops. And by the way, Joe, number one in the NBA in 2023 at WagerTalk.com. And I added to that number one ranking last night with an outright underdog winner with Tony Mejia's Orlando Magic. That was a 21-2 angle that worked last night. And I bring that up because I've got now a 35-3 super situation in the NBA again tonight. You get that as part of the best bet package. Once again, 2 pro, 1 college, and a bonus college play. And Joe, I mentioned yesterday college play, free plays were 19-6. Well, the free play I gave out on the college basketball show with you won, but the one I put it as a bonus play on the page, your Oklahoma State Cowboys did not get it done as a free play. So now 19-7. But I do have a free college basketball play, still 19-7 since January, and then 3 strong best bets, including that number one ranking at NBA, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, don't even remind me about
that's what
that.
I get.
Listen, I know. It's misery, damn it, just misery. Told you we could all shoot more than they could. All right, so let's check it out here, guys. 10-game slate, contrarian gods. Well, they are jumping in here tonight, feet first, and they're going to take a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are still out west, get ready to take on the Los Angeles Clippers, who have not been having a whole lot of fun here lately. Not been a good ride here with all their new pieces and new toys thus far. But neither is Minnesota, really. They've lost, 3 straight? They're not playing any defense. They are scoring some points here, but two epic losses by the Clippers, so neither of these two teams have actually won in a little while, but yet Minnesota's getting 6.5 here. Skee, are you buying the Clippers to win going away, or you think there's any value with the contrarian gods in Minnesota here?
Well, this is, out of all the games that we have today, we're talking about my least favorite one here first. I have to say, I don't trust the Clippers at all, just because they haven't proven themselves to be able to lay numbers and win by margin. You know how I feel about Russell Westbrook over there. I don't think anything good is going to come from that. So I just look at the Minnesota side. I know everybody was happy to get D'Lo out of the locker room, and they've been playing pretty solid basketball ever since. So, or not ever since, but I trust them more than the Clippers. That's all I can say for you guys. I lean towards the contrarian play. I'll have stronger opinions on the rest of the games.
All right, leaning towards Minnesota here tonight on the road. How about you, Finn? Are you buying Minnesota here to keep this thing close?
Well, I have a lot of questions about this game. Unlike Skee, I trust the Clippers, despite the fact they've lost 2 overtime games. At crypto, should I say? And that's that could be concerning, especially giving up 170 some points, right? They allowed, I think, 1.3 and change points per possession in clutch time, which ultimately, it was the reason why they fell in both of those games. And there's question marks. I mean, if you've been on Twitter, and we all have, that Ty Lue's lost his mind with some of the the closing 5. Let's put it that way. But it's a new lineup. There's some new pieces, and listen, I'm not going to begrudge him for anything. I trust Ty Lue. I trust Ty Lue. I think he's one of the better, more reasonable, level-headed coaches in the NBA. The one thing I do like tonight about this game is that if you look at the numbers in this game, you go back. Let's go to Friday night's game where the Clippers hosted the Kings. And they closed right 6.5, 7-point favorites in that game against Sacramento, which is basically the same number that they're laying tonight. So I think it's a buy low situation on the Clippers. I like the Clippers. That's the side I would lean.
All right, leaning towards the Clippers in this one. Merrill, what do you think, man? One of these two teams has got to win the game. You trust the Clippers laying the 6.5 at home here tonight?
Well, I was fascinated by the Kings-Clippers game the other night, and Skee made me remember it because I was on the show with Andy Lang, and Andy was saying Russell Westbrook props over, and I said I actually like the Kings as the contrarian call due to the fact I thought Russell Westbrook would take a lot of shots, and that would be a distraction. So I'm fully on board with Skee. I think that was subtraction by addition for the Clippers, a team that was in contention. I'm not sure that's going to help them. And we saw the second highest scoring game in NBA history, 176 to 175. And you might recall, Joe Ranieri, 39 years ago, 1983, December 13th, was the highest scoring game ever. Pistons Nuggets in triple overtime, 186-184. But I was looking it up here. They had 31 in regulation, so that would have made it, 155, 155 at the end of regulation. The Kings and Clippers, it was 153. So they're just a couple baskets short of the all-time highest regulation game ever. Kings had put up 133 before that, so they were in good current form. But still, the Clippers come right back. They lose to the Nuggets after that game. They give up 134. Not in a hurry to back really either of these teams, kind of what Skee said also. Minnesota, meanwhile, 3 straight up in ATS losses, including both since the All-Star break. In a game, which two teams are struggling, you could both say they're both play against. I think the safer play is to take the points with the dog, and that's what I would do. I would lean towards Minnesota.
All right, leaning towards Minnesota there, along with the contrarian gods here tonight. The Timberwolves getting them 6.5, going up against the Clippers. All right, let's dive in here to a featured matchup, one that a lot of people are going to be looking at here tonight, and that's going to be the new look Lakers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis at home. This thing is up to 9s. Been going back and forth between 8.5 and 9 here. 230.5 is the total. 7:30 Eastern time tip here tonight. And Skee. So we don't have LeBron. We do have, however, AD gonna be in here. So I guess the big question is, do we look at it? Is 9 just out of control? Are they overvaluing the loss of LeBron? Is the total the way to go? How do you approach this one tonight?
Yeah, I feel a lot of different ways about this game. First question you asked, is 9 too much? I think it is. This is a Grizzlies team who hasn't been playing great basketball ever since Steven Adams has been out of the lineup, and he's still not going to be there tonight. He's their leading rebounder. He helps on the defensive end. And like I always mentioned, even the screens he set and just the little things he does to free up other guys on the offensive end. Memphis misses that. So, yes, Lakers going to miss LeBron, but this is a team who is showing up on defense. That's how they're winning these games. D'Lo, LeBron, they'll be all right without those guys. Listen to these stats. They're number 3 as far as opponent effective field goal percentage the last 5 games. And just kind of, that's kind of since the trade deadline. And if you just look at them holding down the paint, number 2, opponent restricted area field goal percentage. Number 3, opponent points in the paint. That's what Memphis feasts. That's what Memphis wants to do. Unless Bane is over here hitting 3 after 3, Lakers are going to clamp. They have Anthony Davis to hold down the paint. You have Vanderbilt, who's going to guard, whoever's getting off in the game, and probably in the fourth quarter he'll guard John Morant here. You saw what he did to Luka. You saw what he's done to everybody. I just think it's going to be a tougher time than people expect for this Grizzlies team tonight. So I lean towards the Lakers plus the points. But what I actually bet, what's in my pocket, I took the under at 233.5. I know it's down to 230. I still think they get under that. Since the trade deadline, the Lakers are 5-1 to the under. And the Grizzlies have went under every game since the All-Star break. Other than that, I'm going to go with the team total under for the Grizzlies. So you don't have to get the ass into the line for the regular total. You look at the Grizzlies, only one of their last 14 games, they've eclipsed 120 points. I've talked plenty about how good the Lakers defense is right now. They've held 5 of their last 6 opponents under that 120-point number. And if I'm thinking they can cover this 9 points, like I mentioned, they're not going to do it on the offensive end. And since they're playing that good defense, I think Anthony Davis is also worth the look on his rebound prop. When LeBron is out of the lineup, he averages 15.9 rebounds. So I think 12.5 is pretty reasonable. So to sum it up, I'm on Lakers and Grizzlies under 233.5. I'm on Grizzlies team total under 120. I'm going to put in 80 rebounds over 12.5 after the show. And I think those are 3 ways to get paid.
All right. Yeah, all 3 sound legit here, and we've seen it how many times, Tony Finn, right? Star player goes down, market overreacts. This thing, I don't know, it may continue to rise before tip for all we know here. But the question is, you got a lot of different ways to approach this, as Skee just laid out. Is there one in particular you like more than the rest in this game?
Well, in this game, there's a player prop that I like as my best bet tonight. And again, it's on my homepage there at WagerTalk, and we'll talk about it here in this program, this episode of the NBA Tip-Off Show. And I agree with Skee in a lot of ways here. I think Davis really steps up, and whether he performs, till the end of the season and helps this team get at least into the playing games. I'm not sure how far this Lakers team goes without LeBron, honestly. But in this situation, I think it's a good matchup for LA and the points here. Memphis, been a pretty good defensive team this year, guys. They ranked, I think, 6th in the league overall in efficiency. However, this is 2 teams, and Skee mentioned totals, but you got the 6th fastest tempo team in Memphis, the 2nd fastest tempo team in the Lakers, and they're going to run without LeBron too. They're going to play fast without LeBron. Davis looks really good right now. I like Skee's pick on his rebounds. I like Davis's points over. I think if you look at what he's done without LeBron, listen, they're not been very, very good. When Davis has been on the court without LeBron, I think they're not very. They haven't been very good this year, or at least in 2022, 5-10. But in most of those situations, 10 out of the 15 games in total that they've played, Davis has been pretty good, save a couple of games against some pretty good defenses. So let's do this. No Steven Adams, as Skee mentioned. Davis gets his 30+, and the Lakers run, and get runned on. I like the over, actually, in this game, but I do like the Lakers plus the 9. Give me the Lakers plus the 9. I'll take the Lakers plus the 9. a lot to play for tonight.
All right, liking the Lakers and the points here. How about you, Merrill? Are you willing to jump in with the dog on this one, or how are you approaching it?
Well, as you know, Joe, it's been the automatic play for these shorthanded teams to play the dog and take the adjusted point spread value. That almost works every time, unless I'm on the team, by the way. Did not work in the Oklahoma City Thunder game the other night for me. But you do worry that LeBron's a little bit different because he's been in and out over the years, and it's not – I don't know. I just get the feeling that teams don't let down against the Lakers. But I do like where Skee's going with the total. What kept me off it, though, is what Tony Finn said, is that, the pace could be fast, even without LeBron. But if you look at the adjusted metrics for each team with LeBron off, with AD on, definitely favors the under. And once again, you got to take these with a grain of salt because they've had a mismatched lineup. Westbrook was there at 1.2. But when LeBron's been off the court this year, not surprisingly, this is per 48 minutes on average. They're about 4 points weaker offensively, but they're actually 2.5 points better off defensively. So that's 6.5 points lower scoring games without LeBron on the court. And AD, it's the opposite. On court, 5 points less offensively, 5.5 actually, but not surprisingly, 5.5 better defensively. That's 11 points lower scoring with AD on the court. So that's a 16 to 17 point towards the under here. The line has dropped about 5 points down to 231. But under is the way to play it, I think. And let's just hope they don't run too fast tonight.
All right, look at it. We got a little bit of everything there. Some props, guys, sides, totals, a little bit of everything there in that matchup tonight. Lakers taking on the Grizzlies. But let's focus on a total here tonight with our overtime game. And, boy, up and away. Highest game on the board, I believe, here with the Pacers taking on the Dallas Mavericks here tonight. 236 is an open. We're seeing 237.5 here as it continues to creep up. And hey, who can blame it? I mean, anybody watch Dallas play defense late? Yeah, they don't play any. Just ask the Lakers in that last game. That worked out wonderful in the second half for them. But now you got a team who's certainly going to try to get out and transition in Indiana, Skee, and push some pace here a little bit. So what do you think? 237.5, is it high enough, or do you think the under's got value?
Well, I would not be betting the under in Dallas Mavericks games right now. I'm just not looking that way. And the way that the Pacers play as well. I mean, you look at the Mavericks since the trade deadline, they're allowing the most points in the paint. You just look at the personnel. It's not anybody who's defending. I know they'll get Maxey back tonight, or I think they'll get Maxey back tonight, and that should help them protect the paint a little bit more. But they play faster, and they move the ball more with Kyrie, and the defense is terrible. So that leads me to over on that side. And on the flip side, we already know what the Pacers want to do. So it's been on my short list all day. I don't know why I feel a little iffy about it, but the only way I could look to play that game was the over. As far as anything else, I think I like the Pacers just because it's too many points. Like this Dallas team all year long, they can win some games, especially they win at home, but they do not cover. If a team cannot play defense, how do you expect them to win by double digits? So that's just how I feel about the Mavericks. You also have Rick Carlisle coming back to face his old team. I think he'll get his team up for that, and they've been playing well. I think they've covered, 3 of their last 4 games. So Pacers +9 is pretty interesting to me. Maybe I'll get there by the end of the day on that. If you like the Dallas side, I think you have to take them first quarter just because of how they gave that big lead up versus the Lakers. I think they come out early, and the Pacers have been a poor starter and strong finisher all year.
No, they absolutely have here, and feels like, wait until the game starts. You're going to get Dallas at a better number at some particular point during that game. But it is up to 9 now, but that total continues to creep up here a little bit. Finn, 237.5. There's no way we're sweating out an under in this, right?
No, I don't think we are. I'm gonna be on the high side of this if I'm in this game, and I'm considering it. I like a bunch of props in this game. I like Indiana to run here, Joe, tonight. I like Hield. Hield averages 9 3-point attempts, 3-point takes per game. It's a little heavy tonight. You got to play over 3.5, depending on your store on his 3-point props. But I like that, him make more than 3, and everything that's been said so far. Skee, you, and I'm sure Steve too is going to say the same thing. At least I think so. This Dallas defense hasn't been very good. It got worse with Irving. Let's just be honest. It got worse, and with Indiana, this is a perfect. That Dallas is miserable in transition defense. Give me Indiana tonight over the Dallas Mavericks and over the total.
Wow, liking. All right, Indiana, it is here. I don't know, Merrill. You got some people would make the argument, right? You've got the Pacers coming in, taking on a pissed off Dallas team for blowing that lead in the last game. But Skee's right here, man. It's tough to look at anything Dallas does and go, oh, we're going to get some defense. Under's the way to go here. How do you approach this one? Is it just over a pass?
So I heard a stat the other day. The league this season, when they're down by 25 or more, is 0-185 straight up. The Lakers are 2-5 straight up in that scenario. So it's really,
wow.
They've come back twice. Nobody else in the league has done it in 185 occurrences. And of course, you're mentioning that blown lead. It was a 27-point blown lead by the Mavericks. Ended up losing by 3. What's interesting about that, though, Joe, is their defense wasn't bad. They gave up 43% shooting. They just went ice cold offensively after establishing the lead. They shot below 42%. So, normally I'd say after blowing a big lead like that, there was probably some defensive lapses. They'll come focused tonight. But the 5 games prior, they'd given up 51% shooting or worse. The Mavericks had. And they'd gone over in 4 of their 5 prior as well. I don't know what to make of this. I think the over is the only way to play the total. I'm in no interest in playing the under with the team that's given up 51% or more in 5 of their last 6 still. As you said, though, blowing that big lead, it does make you think they'll come a little bit more focused. I really don't want much to do with the Pacers as far as a side in this game either. I think the over is worth a look here, a light lean towards the over if you're going to play it.
Yeah, it's really the only way. It can't be sweating out an under there with Dallas at home taking on the Indiana Pacers. All right, we do have 10 games on the slate. That means 10 dogs. Let's take a look at him, Robert.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, we got a lot of dogs could be barking here tonight. The Wizards on this list here, Chicago, the Nets. We got OKC, Houston. How is Houston a dog against Denver? Indiana, San Antonio, Minnesota, and of course the Portland Trailblazers find themselves in a dog in the Bay Area. So lot of dogs could be barking here tonight, Skee, on this list. Is there one that you like in particular?
Well, I mentioned 2 on the show. And those are the 2 that I'm going to roll with here. Lakers plus the 9. I just think that Memphis, until Steven Adams is back, you do not lay this kind of a margin with them until they show you. So I talked enough about that game. And Indiana plus the 9, I just think Dallas, it's the same kind of deal. They've shown you they can't play defense. They haven't been able to cover all year. What makes you think they're going to start to play defense and be able to win by double digits here tonight? So the 2 plus 9s, I think, are the best dogs on the board tonight.
Yeah, can't argue there. Ready to roll here with Lakers and Pacers. And how about you, Finn? Which one of these dogs is barking for you?
Well, I won't spend a lot of time on this. I will say that I'm going to go with OKC despite the fact that we're not going to have any Alexander. I mean, he's going to be out for the 3rd straight game. So SGA's out. However, Fox was limited in the shoot around this morning. I don't think he's going to play. And my feeling is this is a wrist injury to his dominant hand, and I don't think this is a game with SG out that they're going to feel like, at least at the SAC coaching staff's going to feel like they have to have Fox. But Fox is a big difference for the Sacramento Kings team. Look at the metrics with or without him, and he if you're basing a team outside of postseason play or how well they win or losses, D Fox might be one of the most valuable players any team in the NBA, in my opinion. And in this game tonight, I like the way I just like the way OKC has played, even without Gil Alex. They've played pretty well. They've been in games. They got really. Listen, I had them, and they were a 1-point dog a couple nights ago. Who were they playing? They were playing. I'm sorry, but I'm getting old and my memory's going. But there was that late foul call, the 3-point shot with Utah, and if you remember, I ended up I didn't take the 1 point. I just took the plus 105. I liked OKC to win, and these two teams playing a high-scoring game. 1 point doesn't come into play very often, except as Steve said earlier, when I bet on them. So give me OKC tonight. And I believe they're a small dog, right? 2.5, 3-point dog.
Yep.
Give me OKC over the Sacramento Foxless Kings.
Boom. Get them done, OKC. Merrill, what are you thinking here? Some intriguing dogs on this card. Which one's barking for you?
Some ugly dogs on this card. And in fact, I'm looking at the Wager Talk live odds screen, Joe, and there's 10 games tonight. There's only one game out of 10 in which the line has dropped from the opening number. That's pretty incredible. That means basically the money's been coming in on favorites in the majority of these games. So the early sharp money did not like many dogs tonight. I don't totally disagree. And by the way, be very, very careful with Robert's Houston Rockets. I hear on the radio yesterday, Tillman Furtada puts in an offer for the Washington Commanders, my former Washington Commanders, and they were talking about how he's tanking with the Rockets for the number 1 pick, and he might tank with the Redskins as well. So we'll see what happens. But I'd be careful, all seriousness, with the Rockets going forward. I do think they'd be very happy to have the highest lottery chance for the number 1 pick. So a lot of dogs I've eliminated for that reason. The only dog, by the way, in which the money came in on them this morning was Minnesota. It's gone from 7 to 6.5. We talked about them already in the contrarian play. I do lean towards Minnesota. So I'll give you a different one here for this show. Another dog that might be a live dog is actually, hold your nose, the Chicago Bulls. It's more of a play against the Raptors for me. Raptors are still 2 games below 500. 3 straight spread losses, and they failed to cover 5 of their last 6. Meanwhile, Chicago, after those 5 straight losses, actually 6 straight losses and 7 straight against the spread. Actually, I think it was 0-6 straight up and ATS. Back-to-back wins against Brooklyn and Washington. A little bit of a step up in class, but not much. I think Chicago could be a live dog tonight on Tuesday.
All right. Maybe Chicago getting it done here on the road against Toronto. And I think we do have some breaking news here. I think, look at that. The Rockets just signed Carson Wentz. Let's check it out, guys. Let's go. Best bets here. See what we got rolling. That would seem to me if you want to tank, that's exactly who you sign right there. All right, let's take a look here, guys. 60 seconds on the clock, 10 games on the board. We're looking for a best bet from these guys. Skee, kick us off, man. Where are you looking here tonight?
Well, first of all, Steve probably cut his time in half dogging the Rockets like that. You got to know, you got to say some nice things about the Rockets. You wouldn't have time to speak in this segment.
You get 2 minutes. You say
best bet. Yeah, 2 minutes. Best bet. I'll go to the Lakers game. I'm going to rock with that Memphis team total under 120. Memphis at home on the front end of a back-to-back. They're 3-1 to the under. In those games, they average 113.5 points per game. Memphis scores all of their points. They're number 1, points in the paint. Lakers, last 5 games, which is kind of coinciding with the trade deadline, they're number 3 protecting the paint. Memphis has only gone over 120 points 1 of their last 14 games. Lakers have held opponents under 120 points 5 of their last 6, which is since the trade deadline. And they're desperate. They need all these wins to try to make the playoffs. If they're even going to be in this game, it's going to be with defense. It's too much offense missing. So Grizzlies team total under 120. Best bet for today.
Boom! All right, well, good stuff there. How about it, Finn? Which you mentioned you got a couple of plays here that you like a little bit. Give us one of them for a best bet.
We're going to go with the prop. Lakers, Memphis game. The prop's going to be on Anthony Davis over 27.5 points. And real quickly, the Lakers really only have 2 games. I mean, they have a completely different lineup. So I'm not sure they're going to be as good defensively as Skee believes they're going to be. And $5 billion for the Command. $5 billion for that team. Let's go to Anthony Davis. Davis scored 20 points in 9 of the 15 games when LeBron is inactive. 10 of the 15 finds AD scoring 27 or more. The 5 teams that Davis didn't exceed 27 points for. Pretty good teams. Phoenix, Sacramento, Golden State, Milwaukee, Portland. And the last 3, games, he's been really good, and he's been pissed off when they weren't winning. When LeBron had all the point totals, and I'm gonna go over I can already see it. Be nice to me, Robert. When we were doing that celebration, or at least celebratory, when LeBron broke the scoring mark. Davis gets big tonight, scores 30 plus, over 27.5 points. My apologies.
Wrap it up here, people. Thank you very much. Good Lord. You're getting smacked with the wrap it up graphic. You know what that means. All right, let's go, Merrill. You got it. I can't help it. You might get this whole wrap it up thing going on here with about 20 seconds in because you had to crap all over the Rockets. But hey, go for it. Tell us what you got here tonight.
Got a free NBA play for Tuesday night, February 28th. Last day of February. That means March Madness starts tomorrow on Wednesday. It's a great time of the year to be playing basketball. Don't forget about that special for the rest of the college basketball season right now on all the pages at WagerTalk.com. You can also get a 7-day college or pro basketball for myself, Steve Merrill, for just $39. Might want to think about that because I've got 3 strong best bets going tonight on Tuesday in college and pro hoops. Also, number 1 ranked this season in the NBA at WagerTalk.com in 2023. Also, bonus free college basketball play on my page, 19-7, 73% the last month on those free plays. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Let's go over the total between the Bucks and Nets. Total's gone up about 4 points because Giannis is probable. I think there'll still be very little defense by these Brooklyn Nets. Look for both teams to put up a ton of points tonight. Nets and Bucks over 230.5 tonight at 7:40 Eastern. Make Robert Harris go left, damn it. That was not my fault either on the jump shot. Somebody was yelling at me in the stands.
Wow, look at that. That was, what in the
It looked so good until it left my hand.
What was
Looked so good. Ski Profit, August 19th. Your chance to finish first and not finish second for a third straight three-point contest.
Look at that air ball. Give me that stuff one more time there. Look at it one more time, Robert. Give me that. Go ahead. Play that one more time.
That's not the Merrill.
My word. Look at it. Oh, look at the form, though.
The little Merrill in the red there knew which way the rebound was going. He knew exactly where to go for that rebound. He's seen enough of those.
Oh, my, make it rain. Wow. All right, guys, there you go.
Still not going
kids,
in.
You don't emulate that, whatever you do here. My goodness, it looked like James Harden last night chucking up threes. All right, one more time, guys, just to recap what we got rolling here tonight. And it's funny, too, they got the camera on Robert just laughing the minute you launched that thing, and he knew it wasn't going to be anywhere even close here. But we do have, guys, a quick reminder. We'll recap it one more time for you here as we've got, of course, picks in 10 games tonight. Best bets across the board, including Skee, who's going to back the Lakers and Indiana here tonight. Likes both of those as dogs here. And, of course, the Memphis team total under 120 is going to be his bet for the show, while Tony Finn, he bagging OKC tonight at home, no SGA, but it doesn't look like De'Aaron Fox is going either for Sacramento, so he's going to take those 3 points. Anthony Davis, expecting good things from him tonight. He better bring it if Lakers are going to stay afloat. 27.5, I believe, is the point prop. He's going over it. Merrill, give me some Chicago Bulls on the road against Toronto +5. But your
over
best
Bucks
bet
Nets.
is you basically
Over Bucks
never
Nets.
over Bucks Nets. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for reminding us that he didn't send it in Slack.
That damn
Also, the
basketball
contrarian
highlight
gods
got me.
They go in Minnesota -6.5,
Robert's
taking on the Clippers here tonight. Between you not following rules, crapping all over the Rockets, and airball videos, I am done. Head over to WagerTalk.com. You got Skee's best bets loaded tonight. I mean, a huge card tonight in the association, guys. You got Tony Finn, he's ready to go. And, of course, Steve Merrill, he's ready to rock. Unlike, guys, let's be realistic here. Unlike his 3-point shots, there is plenty to go with here tonight on the college landscape as well as the NBA. So make sure you visit all 3 of these guys tonight. Let's make it a profitable end to the month of February as March is just around the corner. All right, guys, that will do it. And, yep, we're going to wrap it up right now, says this guy to the left of me, or to the right of me. There we go, right over there. On behalf of Skee, on behalf of Steve, on behalf of Tony, guys, we appreciate the time. Best of luck with all the plays here tonight. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll do it one more time as we start the month of March. Wow. Where does the time go? Best of luck with the plays, guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.